when you had went over the video that we had went over,
Mhm.
and you made a video on that, it really helped. So I could understand if somebody did just want to watch the video because they would still be enlightened and get the knowledge.
Yeah, I'm like, I love being able to do like the re-recording, and then people and they can like have it forever. Y'all can have it for forever. Like if you miss something or you need to go back to it, it's just like perfect for y'all. So
Right. Right.
okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. Um let me see if I remember how to share my screen. Um do, 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 do. Cool. If you hear anything whining, that is my dog at my door. He's just like he just came to the door. Nah, she's talking to somebody without me.
Right. I feel it. I smell it.
There's somebody in there. Okay, so you are not new to this. You are not true to this. But for those that are watching playback, if this is your first time joining the artist workshop, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Also, really quickly, I forgot to let you know. Just make sure you mute your mic. But if you have any questions, just like raise your hand and just let me know.
Gotcha.
All right. So no matter where you're starting from, whether you're navigating the art space as like a newbie and you have no idea what you're doing and you just need some of that support, this is the space to be. And I created this workshop just for you and for me, of course. But yes, to connect with your creativity, your business, your inner child, and build a space, build a community within the art space. This is the reason why I did it. So I hope within this workshop today, you can be able to find something that you need and I can be able to answer your questions today. So on today's theme, or this month's theme particularly, we are talking about how to build your website and your artist portfolio. So on this session, we are going to be diving into how you can showcase your art just with more confidence with your website or artist portfolio, how to design a captivating homepage, pricing your artwork, and even just maintaining a strong online presence beyond social media, because y'all know social media can just go in a second, you know? So our phase one that we're going to be jumping right into is just to ask yourself, are you ready or not? Like, am I ready for a website? Am I ready for a portfolio? And am I ready to take this next step into my art journey? So just consider, do you need a website or a portfolio to begin with? So these are just some questions and some insights that you could just ask yourself, and you can journal about this as well. So where are you in your art career? Are you just starting out? Are you rebranding? Are you expanding your reach? So like for some people, if they are just in the States, are they now trying to, go over internationally? How you got to make sure you have different shipping systems for things like that. And then our next one is, do you have the time available, like in your day-to-day schedule, daily responsibilities that you already have? Can you go towards making the time to build that website or make sure to maintain that portfolio? And then our next one is, what are your goals? What's your end goal? Are we trying to get galleries? Are we just trying to make a new space for ourselves in order to have a track record of our journey as an artist? Are we trying to build a community? Or are we just trying to put our work out there for collectors and for buyers and people to support? So these are just some things for you to consider. But also, starting a website or curating a portfolio can be as easy as designing a homepage, adding 5 to 10 artworks, or your artist biography, or just your story. Or you could be like me or many other professional artists. It can be as complex as having 10 to 20 artworks, your services, the digital and physical products, a workshop, a blog, your publications. It's a whole bunch of things. So you kind of just have to know like what's really just important to you, and then you work your way from there. And then our pro tip for this slide would be, consider where you are ready to commit your time and energy to. Our next slide is just be open and honest. Getting the hard questions out the way saves you time and it saves you money. And I am talking from experience, okay? Talking from experience because it has saved me so much money asking myself, okay, what do I need to do? How do I need to structure this? Instead of like jumping in and then I'm like, I should never did that. I like wasted $30 on that and I didn't want to do that. So these are just those extra journaling prompts and just those reflections of number one, am I ready to level up? Am I ready to move over from being strictly on social media to having a website where people can go and see a professional view of like my work and my products and what I do? Am I ready to sell? What are you ready to sell? Right. So are you wanting to sell at art shows? Are you wanting to do commissions? Is it galleries? Is it online across borders? And then what do you want to sell, which is the artwork, the prints? What specific products or services do you offer as a creative? And then our next one would be, do I need a paper trail? So are you tracking your sales now? Are you leveling up to the point where now you need sales tax and you want to write stuff off on your taxes, right? Or are you trying to do professional applications? So like open calls for galleries and stuff like that. Well, like what is something that you're looking for towards that? And then also, building that customer information, updating your photographs, shipping, handling. There's so much, as far as like a paper trail when it comes to building your website. So just consider those things as well. And then that last one is just, can I commit 1 or 2 hours a month to update it, to just keep a balance and maintain it with all my daily responsibilities? And then if you are not ready, which is totally okay, that's why I say be honest. If you're not ready, do the link in bio tools. Linktree has saved me so much time. Not to say that I started off with Linktree. I started off with having a website, but Linktree does save me so much time, especially because we live in an age where people just want to just click and that short form content or being able to access something super duper quick, super duper fast. It is a great time saver. Just so if they specifically want to go to your YouTube channel, they don't have to go all the way through your website to kind of look for that. So if you're just not ready for a website yet, having a link tree, a link in a bio will be a perfect way for you to start. And then an email list and a Discord. If you are somebody that wants to send out newsletters and tell people and collect their information and build a community, this is the perfect space that you can do this as well. And then for those of us that are wanting to get to galleries or even magazine articles and publications and stuff like that, you can send PDF portfolios of your art to people, or a lot of things that they're doing now, and I'm gonna have to put that in here. I've noticed a lot of galleries, they're not asking for PDF portfolios. It just depends on who you're going with, but they ask you to put it in a Google Drive. And then there's one more account that I've worked with as well, where you can put files together and it creates a link for you. And I'm gonna like make a note of just like remembering that way I can have that for y'all, so that y'all have options. And then the pro tip for this is to start small. You can always expand later. Our next one is phase 3. So choosing your website builder. Now, I have had experience in many different website builders. This work I'm gonna leave for you guys, unless y'all like tell me like, hey, can we do like a deep dive into specific websites and stuff like that? If that's something that y'all want, let me know and I will consider it, right? But for this one, I just want you to know that you have options. So your website and portfolio is how you extend your reach outside of just social media. So how you market yourself outside of your art or creative practice is essential to your growth. Exploring your options. You can do Squarespace, you can do Shopify, you can do Wix, you can do WordPress. I'm gonna do like a quick synopsis of each of these. So Squarespace is what I have now. Personally, I love Squarespace because Squarespace saves me money and I can get everything that I need without having to pay for like extra stuff. And what I like about Squarespace, and this is not sponsored by the way, but they may need to sponsor me. But what I like about Squarespace is that they have these add-ons And so if I don't need this, I don't have to pay for it. But if I do want this, then I can pay for it. So an example of this is like a marketing campaign. Like if I wanted to send out one, I can pay for that, as opposed to that being in a bundle and you have to pay for it every month and maybe you're not ready for it. Shopify is really great, especially with clothes, or if you just strictly just want to sell your artwork. Many brands use Shopify. So Shopify is something that I was with for a very long time, until I found out about Squarespace. So Shopify is great as well. Wix, I first started off with when I was first starting off back in like high school. And Wix is really great, especially for creatives. So if you want to build and design this beautiful portfolio, you can book appointments on there as well. You can host workshops. Like you can have that all in a calendar. Wix has different levels, and so does Shopify. You just have to figure out what works best for you. WordPress, I would definitely say, because I've worked in it, for me, I feel like it's the hardest for the average person to try to work through, just for the simple fact because of how it looks. So if you are somebody that is like a writer, or if you're somebody that likes to do blog posts, I would definitely say WordPress is the space for you. Or like you want to do like an informational or something like that. WordPress is the space to do that in. And then also just do a comparison of each to see which one fits your budget and goals. Things to consider just during this phase is try building a single portfolio page or homepage on 2 platforms. That way you just get to see what the navigation is like. That way you get to see like what do you like best about this one, what you don't like about this one. How your work is displayed. Also check the systems, the blog format, the customer support, navigation, etc. And then research comparable artists in your niche as references. So what I mean by that is like you can use me as a reference. So you can use like and I know we talked about this last time, Stacey, but you could use my website as a reference if it's something that you like or something that you want to include in your website and you want to tailor it to it, something that you like in my portfolio that you want to tailor to it, or another artist that you're looking at as well. Same thing goes for pricing. If you see that an artist has a similar niche to the type of artwork that you do, you can range your prices around that as well. And then our note here is, which of the website builders feel intuitive to you? Which made you confused and ready to quit? Because I've had those moments as well. And so our pro tip here is test free trials first. Get to know a website before you fully commit financially, okay? Our phase 4 is our homepage insider. So your homepage is your attention grabber. And we talk about this a lot of the times when we're talking about content, like how is the first way that we are going to captivate the audience that we have in those first few seconds, right? So how do you hook those visitors in those 30 seconds? What does that look like? So those must-have elements are the hero image, which is like a banner. It's like a banner photo or like your logo, kind of what you see like when you go to somebody's YouTube channel or when you see your favorite brand and you see their logo at the top, basically like that. Your latest artwork or series that you're working on, a professional headshot, a brand photography, and then like a 1-sentence mission statement or like a brand motto. So an example here is I paint abstract art that connects with my ancestors and inner child. And so that's basically this is like a synopsis of like what I would usually say, like for something that's quick for somebody, like when they're looking at my art. But just to use this as an example. And then our clear navigation menu items. These are just some key ones that you can start off with as you're building that website. So your about page. So you can have 2 where you have about your brand specifically, or it could just be about you and your art. And then your portfolio, your contact, your blog, and then the asterisk here would just be your shop. So if you are ready to shop, if you are ready to have a shop, then you can provide different things that you sell right on that homepage or in that navigation. And so our next one here is don't give potential clients, customers, or buyers reasons to click away. And some of the things to avoid is auto playing music. Now, unless you're an artist, sometimes this may work. Sometimes it may work. But like if you're specifically an artist, or like I've seen people make websites and they have like puzzle builders and it goes with like the music and it's really cool. And maybe that may be their MO, right? But I would definitely say if you're somebody that like creates music, but you also create physical works of art, or you like me, you have a YouTube channel, have an embedded link to the soundtrack, the playlist, the album, or to the specific video. And then multiple pop-ups before scrolling. So I don't know if y'all like me, but y'all know if y'all like go to like one of those crazy, the well-known stores, and they have all these different pop-ups, like, oh, here's 25% here, sign up for the text here. And I was just like, I just want to look. Like, and then like you find yourself just wanting to exit out because you're just like, I don't even want to be on a website no more. So make sure you're just not aggressive with like the sales or too many pop-ups, or just like with the colors and everything. It's not abrasive for somebody to look at. And then too many words being on the homepage, unless it's the blogs, because WordPress is kind of like that, where you kind of just follow all the way down. Or too many like detailed paragraphs. Have links to a specific page. So you can have like a quick little synopsis, a little hook that's right there. And then once they click on it, you can have like a button that says read more or find out more. And then they can click on it and go to that specific page. So what you choose to showcase depends on your goals. So is it your art you want to put to the forefront? Is it your products you want to put to the forefront? Your story, your blog, what's going to make the most sense for you? And then treat your homepage as if someone's first time discovering you, as if it's someone's first time discovering you and your work. All right. So here we are with our portfolio power moves, which is our phase 5. So I am going to break down when it comes to showcasing your work. And then we're also going to break down what to put on there and how are different ways you can organize your work. So how many works to include. If you are a beginner starting off, include the best 5 to 10 works that you have. Right. And this is just on your portfolio, not necessarily like what you're selling, because those are two different things. And then if you're intermediate, then it's like 12 to 20. Right. And then professional, 25 to plus. And I'm just going to assume I'm talking to mostly beginners here. Professional work, that 25 plus is you may be even working with a gallery at that point. Or you have your website is connected somehow with a gallery, or you're managed by one. So don't even worry about the 25 plus, but that's usually what that section is for, unless you are like building something like a series or something like that, and you have different pieces for the said series. Add a selected work section for your absolute best pieces. So it'll be like 5 to 8 pieces. Or if you're approaching a gallery. And so what I mean by this is like, if you're approaching a gallery and you're wanting to email them basically about like, hey, not that you want to be represented, but it's just like, hey, like, here's some of the works that I've been working on. And then here is 5 to 10 works. Most galleries are going to be looking for that because they want to see your track record. But if this is specifically on your website and you're just starting out, 5 to 8 best of your pieces will do just fine. Organizing your work, your option A is by your series. So group works within a shared theme or concept. So like for me, y'all know I've been working on this ancestral series, right? Or botanical abstracts. That's like a new one that I'm working on. But grouped all of your works within a specific concept and it's following each other, right? And then option B is by the medium. So let's say you are multifaceted, right? And you work from watercolor, you work from canvases, you work on wood, you do sculptures, digital works. You can organize it in that way as well. And it'll be helpful for people to look at because it is organized. They're like, oh, wait, I really like this from this artist. So I specifically want to go to their digital works and check out the things there. And then the next one is chronological. So only if you're showing clear artistic evolution. Now, the only time that I really do this when it comes to showing my evolution as an artist is when I show all of my what are my tees called? My custom apparel tees. I haven't like touched them in so long, but my custom apparel tees. And I show from when I first started back in 2016 to how it has evolved, the colorways and everything that has evolved. And that's like on its specific page on its own. And then so the essential details to include in your portfolio, also in your shop, and then also in your certificate of authenticity is the title, the year you created it, the medium that it is, the dimensions, and then the price. And if it's not for sale, you just put like it's not for sale or a part of a series, basically. And our pro tip here is galleries prefer a tight edit over volume. Show range, not repetition. So don't just be throwing all kind of any artworks and it's all scattered everywhere and there's no, there's no format, right? Because they're kind of just like, what is this? That's like, what is this? Show that you have a consistent uniqueness to you and to your work, and it's following a specific flow rather than just putting a whole bunch just on a page and it just be all over the place. Our part 2 of phase 5 is optional additions. So your concept statement, which is basically like a little synopsis and like description about the artwork itself, right? So you could say this series explores memory distortion through layered textures, or you could go into detail where like sometimes I like to tell a story. That's usually how I like to do mine, like, because usually I'm channeling from a certain place when I'm creating rather than just like, oh, this was the technique of so-and-so, right? And then your process notes, if unique techniques were used, and then exhibition history, if applicable. So those process notes is basically like, let's say, which I feel like I probably need to do this more, but like, let's say I had blueberries, right? Let's say I could take this and I say I use recycled plastics to create specific patterns, right? You could say something like that. And then your formatting example would be the title, which is Child's Play, the year that you finished it. And then acrylic on canvas, and then the 36 by 36, which is the dimensions, and then your price. And then you'll say part of the Inner Child series painted with handmade brushes, right? You could say something like that. And then your website and homepage specifics. Add view full series links to deep dive pages. Or you can include a process section with studio photos, videos, which just shows your work in progress, which I love to do. I haven't added it to my website just because my website has a whole bunch of stuff already on it. I usually just let people just go to and most of y'all know this, I just usually let y'all go to my social medias just to see all my process videos and stuff like that. Or sometimes I may talk y'all through it. But it totally just depends on what works best for you as an artist. And then we're going into pricing your artwork. So there are many ways to price your artwork. And when I was working on this, I was like, I'm going to have to find a way to consolidate this for the beginner mindset, because there's so many different ways, especially depending on what type of art you make, the type of time it takes for you to make it. It just depends. So this is just like a little formula just for you, the things to consider. Your labor / your hourly rate. Not all artists go by hourly rate. I'm not one of those artists that do that. But if working on things hourly works best for you, go for it. The type of painting. And so what I mean by the type of painting, or just the type of medium, I should say, is like, is it a sculpture? Is it a 24 by 36, or is it a 16 by 20, or is it, well, that's dimensions. I'm sorry. Type of painting, that one will actually be, is it sculpture, right? I had the right idea. Is it sculpture, or is it acrylic on canvas, right? Or am I now adding like other things like on top of the actual canvas? Am I like sewing in the canvas? Or am I like, what am I doing extra that's going to cost more because I have more materials? So I hope that makes sense now. And then we have our materials. So that's like your paint, if you need new brushes, if you have to go get new materials. So I know there was a time where someone wanted me to make shoes and I had to go get different paint to make those shoes. And those materials are priced completely different. And I have to include that. I have to let them know that within like the invoice. And then shipping and packaging. So that can include things like the package itself, right? The box, how you choose to ship. It could include where you have to ship it to, because it's always variable. It's always changing. And in different states have different prices depending on where you're shipping from, right? And then another one is your packaging. So you have your certificate of authenticity. Do you have stickers? Do you do other little additives, you know, that kind of just make your packaging process special? You know, like those are things that you have to include just in that formula for pricing your artwork. And then the painting dimensions, which I just talked about earlier. So yeah. And then this is just a quick example breakdown, just so y'all can have it, just to kind of work through it whenever you come back to this. But our pro tip with this is start with the base price, then work your way up. You don't have to have everything figured out yet, but the sooner you start, the better. Our phase 6. So I wanted to make sure to give enough time to this, because this is so important. And I feel like a lot of artists don't get prepared for this phase as you grow as a creative. Excuse me. But I feel like it's really just important for just to note, but own your audience. Why social media isn't enough. Social media does not give you ownership. And that's just simply the truth. Remember what happened to Vine? When we had all those great Viners, we was cracking up laughing, and then all of a sudden Vine just left and they had to figure out a new way in order to make money. And most of them went to YouTube, right? And we had that whole YouTube blogging phase, right? And then TikTok. Y'all know what's going on with TikTok right now. Is it banned or is it not? Like they haven't figured it out yet. But the simple fact that you can prepare and keep your audience, keep the people that you've built, and have that community, have that track record, will help you out so much in the long run. In case one of these social medias, they just stop working all of a sudden, they just go out, right? So protect your connections, because at the end of the day, this is how you make your money, right? This is how you build community. So this allows you to build community and to stay in contact with those who have bought from you, and for new customers to support and engage with you. Collect contact information, even if it's just an email. Make your email list or newsletter readily accessible. So even at like art shows or events, if that's something that you're getting ready to do, make sure they got that QR code. If they're not gonna pay for nothing, you say, hey, were you interested in my work? And they be like, yeah, okay, cool. And I'll be like, well, you're more than welcome to join my email list, because I'm always coming out with new stuff and I would love for you to be a part of the family. Boom. Boom, and then you just let them scan it, you know? And sometimes Instagram is not going to always do it, right? Somebody just clicks a follow, but it's like you really don't get that connection with them after the fact, right? And then the next one is also your socials as well. So making sure like whatever you do on your social media, you say, hey, make sure y'all go join the newsletter so y'all can stay up to date with me, or behind the scenes footage of like exactly what it is that I'm doing that I don't usually post on here. And then our next one is, you don't have to start sending out marketing campaigns or coupons or a newsletter right away. Just collect the information. And that's what I've been doing. Like, I have so many million different things that I'm doing. And right now, you know, I'm just starting to build the newsletter, which I'm super excited about because it's coming together. But right now, I haven't been able to really just sit down and be like, okay, we're sending it out, and now I have a schedule to send it out. So right now, it's just about collecting information from people who get commissions done for me, to people who come to the workshop, to people I engage with if I'm at my art shows or my events. And then starting a newsletter, even if it's AI assisted or monthly. And what I mean by AI assisted is basically like maybe you have an idea of what you want to include. And maybe you need to go into Chat GPT or DeepSeek and be like, hey, could you like help me like refine this? So I can make sure like, because my mind is all over the place and I need to consolidate all of these things into one. Or you can even go look on Canva and look at newsletters that they have, and then tailor something to you specifically, right? Or even if you have, if you're subscribed to somebody's newsletter, go look at their stuff and see what are some things that I like that I want to include in mine, and then you can go from there. And so some things that you can include is like your monthly studio diary. So maybe 3 photos and 2 sentences, right? You can include polls, which you could just ask people like, hey, what should I do next? Should I frame it, or which direction should I go? Or behind the scenes, or story time of like, hey, this is what happened behind the scenes at an event that I had, and I just want to let y'all know the insider, basically. Or you can have early access to new drops. So if you have clothes, merchandise, that kind of thing. Or it could be life updates. So you can build a personal connection with your audience aside from social media. You may not always have time. You may not always have time, or you may not always have content ready to post. So a newsletter is kind of a way just to be like, hey, y'all, I'm still working. I'm just a little silent on social media right now, but I'm still here. Here's the behind the scenes, right? And so a note here would just be to keep your ideas simple. Over flooding with too many words, images, your audience will likely not read, or they will unsubscribe. So some tools that you can try is Beehive. Beehive is really great. I would say Beehive is great if you're trying to just advance. I know they do have a free option as well, but this is where you can monetize your newsletter. So basically people just pay for a subscription, kind of like Patreon, but just in the email, which is really cool. And then MailChimp, it's free under 500 subscribers, and different website builders will offer you different integrations. So you just have to figure out what works best for you. Now, of course, there's many more that are out there, but these are just 2 that I feel like that have worked the best. And then the pro tip here is treat your email list as if you are starting a new social media account, because you are. You are. All right, now we are getting to our wrap up, which is my favorite part. So planning and resources. Plan without the overwhelm. So number 1, schedule updates. So it could be every first Sunday, or your moon cycles, or even at the end of the month, right? I know definitely for me, like I play around with the moon and my cycle, like my personal cycle. So that's something that just works for me as a woman. So any of my women out there, if that's something you haven't thought of, I would definitely suggest it. And then you can archive your old work. So keep your portfolio fresh and up to date. So basically what this means is like, let's say it's 2025, right? And you still got work up from 2022. If it ain't been sold, put it in archive. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you bring it back out. Maybe you bring it back out at an art show, and you maybe lower the price on it, right? So just make sure your work just stays up to date, especially if you're trying to get into the galleries or museums, wherever you're trying to go in that sense, because they want to see that updated work. And then your backups, of course, so you can use Dropbox or Google Drive. I think Proton is another one, especially with like emails and protection. So backup accounts and security tips, because getting hacked sucks. It sucks. It sucks. So just make sure you protect yourself. Make sure you protect all of your information that you posted on social media. Make sure it's on your phone somewhere. I don't think I have it right now, but I ordered me, it's over here, but I ordered me a terabyte drive, and I can actually hook that up to my phone now. So that will be something that if you're considering, you can invest in as well. And then make your content in advance so you're not always on. So I think we talked about this a little bit in our last session, but making your content, having a scheduled day for your content. Is it that Sunday? Is it that Monday? Whatever works best for you when you have that free time. And then when to expand. So consistent sales. So if you're getting like consistent sales and commissions that are going through and it's via DM or word of mouth, add your shop. add your shop to your website so people have a way to get with you. That way you're not like, oh, you're always texting people, right? Because you're leveling up. And at one point you're gonna have so many orders where you can't text everybody back, right? And then another reason to expand would be you can launch a blog or newsletter once you have 3 draft posts ready, or once you're just in that space ready. So I would definitely say, like, I do this with my YouTube channel. I try to make sure I at least have like 2 videos up, at least recorded, before I'm like ready to actually just post them out and get them out before like my new phase starts for me to start posting again. And so our artist motivation content, as always, is our 101 mentorship. You can always come book a personal session with me, right? And then our self-guided courses on Patreon. I'm about to start adding some more stuff to Patreon for my patrons, because I just know that I need to, and I'm really excited about it. But yes, this could be your journaling prompts, and then just your mindfulness work, and then our reading list. I'm super excited about our reading list because I added 2 more books. So we talked about The Business of Being an Artist, Daniel Grant. So we talked about this one, which is really good. And then we have Rich Dad Poor Dad, of course, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And then this is because she Black owned, and I love her. You know, we support Black business around here. We brown Black business, small businesses, all businesses, right? This is called Scrambled Eggs, the must-have book for organizing an entrepreneur's brain. This right here, she teaches you about systems, okay? Getting yourself set up so you ain't got to hassle. So when you know you have to hire an assistant, or you need a manager, or now you got an agent. Now you have all these systems in place, and you can go take that vacation, and you can trust these other people to take care of your business for yourself. So, and I know a lot of us, especially artists, and especially me, we have a hard time of releasing control. She gonna tell you all about it. Okay, this is a good one. And then our next one is you are a badass at making money. Okay, so if y'all need to get past those barriers about money management, or just mindfulness practices, and building a healthier relationship with money, this is your book. It's also really good. She has a few other books, but just for this phase, this will be really good for y'all. And then our pro tip here is your website is your creative home base, a space you actually own. I don't know if she clicked, but I'm kind of like, okay, there she go. She did it. Okay, so our wrap up. So the wrap up here is like really full, but our takeaways from this specific session would be our sustainable growth for artists. So start small and then scale wisely. Focus on one platform or service at a time. Grow your new offerings only when you can sustain them energetically and financially. So what that basically means is, like, don't be like, oh, I'm going to start a new newsletter and you can't keep up with your website. You know what I mean? Like, it's like stuff like that. Or I want to start making prints, but we barely out here selling pens. You know, like, just let's be mindful of those things, right? And just the time and energy that we can give it to you. You know, make a list of like, okay, what are things that are working that people really love and enjoy, and how can I organize and schedule my time to give energy to these things? What are things that I want to add and want to do? And then really ask yourself, can I sustain these things? Can I add these things, or do I just still need to wait, right? And then our next one is validate ideas before investing. Let your audience guide you without over promising or compromising yourself. Test demand by sharing sneak peeks of potential projects. So basically what that means is, let's say I come out with a new hoodie, right? And then because you are signed up, you subscribe to my newsletter, you get the inside scoop, and I'd be like, hey, y'all, would this be something that y'all be interested to buy? And then maybe I'll put a poll in there and be like, okay, what's y'all's price point? What would y'all pay for this? And so it'll give me feedback on what you guys want, right? But then I also can make sure that it works for me as well. So use phrases like, would you buy this if I made it? Or I'm exploring an idea. What are you guys' thoughts? And then protect your creative energy. Your art is a business, not a burnout factory. Say no to trends or requests that drain you. Price your work to reflect your time and your worth. And y'all already know about this. I can't, I cannot express how much of knowing your worth when it comes to pricing your artwork. All right. And then failure is just a draft. Don't quit. Okay. If something flops, tweak one element, pricing, presentation, and then like your audience, and re-entry. Well, what re-entry? Retry it all over again. So I'm gonna use myself as an example. There have been many times where I have tried to do this workshop, not this workshop specifically, but I've done many workshops or just tried to do many workshops. And I had to figure out what thing actually worked for me and what worked for my audience. And, you know, now I feel like I kind of like I got it. Like I found the thing that has the sparkle, right? But I didn't give up. I didn't give up. So that is like my rule of thumb here. If it don't work the first time, make some changes, try it again. If it don't work then that time, be patient. Be patient. Be patient and practical. You try it again. All right. And then so an example here would just be my prints don't sell, maybe my product needs some work. My product of my photos needs some work, right? And then our next one is micro progress wins. 15 minutes is better than 0 minutes at all. Okay. 30 minutes is more time spent and time put in rather than you overthinking and overwhelming yourself and not doing nothing at all. And then schedule tiny, consistent sessions. Update one artwork description daily, or if you know there's a task that is really grand and it overwhelms you, do it in increments rather than and then use tools like Toggle or Google Calendar to block your focus time, or any other platform that works best for you. So goals need action plans. Dream big, but plan precisely. Replace I want more sales with I'll just list 3 pieces monthly and give this to my email subscribers, or if you have collectors. And then ask yourself, what's the smallest step I can take today? Okay. So we are officially done. These are my thank yous. So I appreciate y'all just being here, for just signing up and supporting me also on Patreon if you are watching from Patreon, or if you're just watching the playback again. But yes, if you've enjoyed the workshop, please be sure to just subscribe to the email list for updates, future workshops, and resources. And you can always find my resources here. And yeah, and this is the end of our workshop for today. So we are open for questions. Let me stop presenting. Did it stop sharing? Yes, it did. Okay. Yes, so now we are open for our Q&A and also feedback, because y'all always know I love feedback.
All right. This was a great session today. I like how you touch bases with the last workshop that we did. You touched bases, but also informed and gave insight on new information. And like everything that I got from is just find the formula, find the right formula. Don't get discouraged. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just do everything, at your own pace and find the right formula.
Right. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. I knew specifically for you, you wanted, I know you wanted more insight on just like pricing your artwork. So I hope that was a little bit more insightful rather than you searching on Google.
Yeah. Yes, it really was. And I like how you said, hey, I use this website, but you can also use this website as well. You don't have to necessarily use this website, and just research your own. I like that as well. And I'm definitely going to use all of this information and put it into play. I'm definitely will.
Yay! I'm excited for your journey. Like I'll just be like, what is she doing?
Right, right.
Did
As
you
far
have any
as copy,
questions? Oh, go ahead.
yes, just a few. So as far as like copyrights, so let's say I'm trying to present my artwork somewhere, and I know you was explaining on the last session what to do to make sure no one steals your artwork, but should I put my name over the artwork, or what's the best solution
Yeah,
that I should do?
yeah.
Write my name
So,
over it.
so like for me, I actually sign my artwork. I sign the back of it. When I
Okay.
first started off, I don't have a piece. I don't have an older piece with me. But when I first started off, I would put wisdom at the bottom. Or there are some artists they would put like a signature here, or something specifically that like when you see that art piece, like you know that it belongs to them. So like me, like I write my name in Sharpie on the back and on the year and like the year that I did it. So that's one way.
Mhm.
Also, yeah, also even on your website too, you can have where because I'm about to start doing this, you can have because AI exists, but you can have where your website is password encrypted too. And you send that specifically to galleries. That way they can view all of your work without maybe a what is that called? Like a trademark on top of it. So like on your website, you can put one. Oh no, not a trademark. Sorry, watermark. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
You can put a watermark on top of it, like on your actual website. So if somebody trying to get a little finicky with you, and it could be your logo, right? If you have one,
Hmm.
or just like your name, and then it like lower the opacity on it. So you can do something like that. And then like for galleries, be like, here's specifically for galleries, and they can only have access to it. So that'll be another way.
Got you. So basically, kind of most likely included in your artwork.
Yeah. You can.
Mhm.
Like even on this one, I have wisdom on here, and I also have it signed.
Mhm.
Well, it's I don't think you can see this one, but this big one in the back. So I would definitely write it on your artwork somewhere. If you do prints, write it somewhere. You can do it in Sharpie. Some artists do it in paint. They do it in ink. It totally depends on what works best for you.
Got you. Yes, this is great to know. And also with the QR code, as far as like wanting to share, that is a very easy way to share your artwork with people or have people to visit your artwork to share a QR code.
Yes, yeah. QR codes.
Mhm.
It's just so easy because like I've noticed like when I'm doing my art shows and I like to live paint because I want you to see
Mhm.
me in the process, right? And certain art shows do this and some don't. But it's so easy for somebody just to walk up and just because you're already on your phone, as opposed to like my name is not something that everybody gets to see every day. So trying to type all of this in on Instagram, you know, like as opposed to them
Yeah,
just boop and just be done with it.
got you. But yes, I am going to definitely take all of this information and we're going to make something beautiful with it.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Really quick, I didn't do it last time, and I have to remember to do it. Um, would you mind if we do like a quick photo of just us of the workshop today, just to post, just to say it was like successful? Would you be okay with that?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay, cool. All right. So I'm just gonna end it here on my phone. Oh, okay. Well, you just gonna go out. That's fine. Like it's just going. The light just goes out. That's cool. Y'all get to see behind the scenes for playback. This is like being an entrepreneur looks like.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
so in 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Thank you.
No
Oh, yes.
problem.
Did you have any more questions?
Um, no, no. I just
No?
really need to soak. I need to soak all of this
Okay.
in.
I know it's a lot. Like it was a lot for
Hmm.
me to even try to consolidate for y'all because and what I realize is I'm gonna just have to do levels and different tiers for y'all because there's just so much information. Which
Yeah.
is why I'm excited because I get to keep doing these with y'all. But yes, soak it all in, take it, and yeah. So thank you.
No problem. No, thank you so much.
Of course, of course. Well, guys, that will be the end of our workshop for today. If you are watching playback, thank you so much. If you have subscribed to the Patreon and you're watching from my Patreon, thank you as well. And so until next time, I will see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.